No one's here yet, but it's okay. I'm going to dance. Don't get cut. This ain't your mama's funky song. Nerd. Break it down now. Break it down now. Hello. Oh my God, 3 people right away. It's so relaxing. Where is Shamba? We passed it. Tell me guys on the birthday. I mean, not the birthday. The dance party. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, Shannon, I just got a crazy update on my phone, and you probably got the same update, and we're going to talk about it when you come on the talk show. Hey, Dydril. Okay, I just went out to pick up my mail, and so I still have my coat on. Happy Monday, Raquel! All right, here we go. You guys know you want to dance. Are you ready to break it down? Okay. Hello. Hey, Kaylin. God loves you, Doyle. Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to Style and Substance. I am your host, Marcia Lane-McGee, also known as Stylish Lucia, who has not been incredibly stylish these last couple of weeks, but it's okay. We all got this is like Corona style. Right? Corona style, everybody. I just realized the shirt that I'm wearing, I should have worn it in 2 days, because our guest in 2 days, it's from her birthday party, her 40th birthday party. And that would have been super fun. But that's okay. I wear it to work out now. So, how's everybody doing? I see that we've got a good amount of people here. So tell me, guys, what is bringing you joy? I've got something that is not bringing me joy right now that I just found out. And Shannon, we're going to have to talk about it. But, so tell me, what is bringing you guys joy? Mel, I know you're there. I would like to hear how you're being joyful. What's bringing me joy while you guys are thinking about those things is I finally finished all of Outlander. We've talked about this, how I've become obsessed. And I got to be with my friend Shannon and our friend Caroline. We had a Google Hangout while we watched Outlander yesterday, and it was super great. The episode left me real sad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's always war happening in Outlander, but it was really super joyful. And I was like, this is so much fun. Social distancing has really given us a lot of ways to interact with people, and that's been pretty great. So Raquel says that she's taking more time to read. Yes, I am also taking more time to read. Guess what I am reading? Oh, I lost my page. Outlander. I'm reading Outlander, so I'm with you. And that is your obsession. That is amazing. Mel ordered fried chicken for dinner. Yes! Where'd you go? It's obviously in Dallas, so let us know where you went so people can know, or where you ordered from, so people will know where they can get some really good fried chicken in Texas. So great. Shannon, if you are ready, you can go ahead and request to join the live, because I really need to talk to you about what I just saw. So if you go, let's see, Ida Claire is the name of the place. It's awesome and local. So if anyone's in Dallas, Ida Claire sounds like the place to go for fried chicken. And, so now we're going to hear what's going on with Shannon. Shannon is my co-host for my podcast. I'm sure you guys know I have a podcast. I love to hear myself talk, so of course I have a podcast. And so she's going to be joining us like we don't talk to each other enough already.
Hello.
Hey! Shannon!
Hair, if you can see that.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I have crazy Corona hair.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, girl. It's a life. It's a whole life. I actually need to have my wash day, and I have I don't know what's wrong with me. I was like, I have all this time. Why do I not? So it's not a matter of time. It's just that I don't want to do it.
I'm warning you all in advance. I'm making a pizza right now for my kids. So in about 2 minutes, I'm going to be putting the phone in a weird place.
It's okay. It's okay. Is it made from expired Walmart meat?
No.
Okay.
It's from Walmart. It's frozen.
No. It's you've heard that I recently loved Tiger King, and that was a whole thing. That was crazy. Anybody else watch Tiger King? Oh my gosh. So Shannon, when I opened this live, a notice from People Magazine came up. Harry and Meghan are ending their Sussex Royal Instagram account.
This is very sad.
I know. I was like, now maybe they can come on the podcast. So
Yes!
just
Never gonna happen.
I am just saying. Oh, Raquel is watching Tiger King right now. She's in the process.
Yes.
I'm glad that you were pausing your viewing to be with us for this little bit. Okay, so Shannon, I know who you are, and people who listen to the podcast know who you are. Why don't you tell all of the Style and Substance viewers who you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Shannon Schmidt. I am a longtime friend of Marcia's and also her co-host on PSBB podcast. But I work full-time in parish ministry at a Catholic church outside of Indianapolis. I am a mom of 4, a wife to 1, thankfully only 1, unlike Eric.
That's too many husbands already, though.
Husband is wonderful and patient and kind.
He's really great. I like Eric.
Yes, and we have 4 kids under the age of 10, and it's about as crazy as you think it is in our house. I also have a master's degree in pastoral ministry, and I spend my free time cooking and cleaning and watching TV because I don't have time for anything after all the laundry's done. So that's about what I'm doing right now.
Right, because you're still working.
Yes. Yep. I'm pretty much full-time still. We are technically a essential profession, apparently, but I think it's more because we do a lot of charitable outreach. So I'm about to scoop this pizza. You all get to look at my face while I do that.
It's okay. We are all trying to live our lives, girl. So, Shannon, while you're scooping the pizza, these are things that you know all these answers. I got to ask you. Either you tell me 1 or all 3. What is your Enneagram number, your Hogwarts house, or your Myers-Briggs, or all 3? You know, I'm okay.
I got this. So my Enneagram number, I'm a 7, which is an adventurer. And that means that I like to have lots of different things happening all the time. It can be good and bad. It's hard for me right now. It's really hard for me right now. And as far as the Enneagram goes, I'm an ENFJ, so extrovert, intuitive, feeling judger. Which
so
means
judgy.
I'm very decisive. I feel things and I'm very decisive. But it's considered like a natural teacher. So, which
that's real.
And who I am. So that's and it's pretty rare actually. I think only like 2% of the population is ENFJ. Most people are ENFP. So I'm a weirdo, not surprising. And then my Hogwarts house, I haven't officially taken the test, but I'm 98% sure I am a Slytherin. I have a deep-seated need to to prove myself, and I like to be in charge of things. Not all Slytherins are bad.
So Raquel is an ENFJ.
Yeah.
Look at that. Whoa.
So good. So good to meet another one.
No, and it's so funny. So way back when you were like, I'm a Ravenclaw. And I was like, okay, Shannon said she's a Ravenclaw. I don't think Shannon's a Ravenclaw, but okay. No. I'm usually really good at guessing people's Hogwarts houses within 10 minutes of knowing them. But apparently I was wrong about my sister's Hogwarts house. But I think that she cheated on that quiz. Okay. I'm just saying, I think my sister's a Slytherin, but she says she's a Gryffindor. And
that's a far cry. I mean, I guess not. Harry was. I don't know.
Well, her birthday is the same day as Harry Potter's, so apparently she thinks that. Oh wait, Raquel is wrong. She thinks she's an INFJ. I think you're an extrovert, Raquel. I don't know.
It's just about how you get energy. Do you get energy from being around people or not? And I think a lot of people are discovering that they're actually extroverts now when they thought they were introverts. Like, wait.
So I agree with you, Rebecca. Rebecca said Slytherins always know that they are Slytherins. And that's true. Slytherins will be like, yeah, I'm Slytherin. Yeah, like, they will not get offended for you calling them a Slytherin. So that's real. Like, that's so real. I'm with it. So, okay, so Shannon, you work in a parish full-time. Yes, you are an essential employee. Don't be sorry. You have like 4 kids that need to be fed. And if you don't feed them soon, we will all meet them.
I'm
that's real.
Woman, so I need to say sorry at least 6 times on this broadcast.
So sorry for saying sorry. No. So Shannon, how, like, there's so much going on right now. Like, people are feeling so like in a spiritual desert at this time. It's like, because we legit cannot go to mass. Like, I told you about how I was like, I just want to sit in the church.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I just sit there? Like, and it's like, it's so hard to be without church, and not like even the physical building. Like, the church is the people of God. I think that we're understanding that a little bit more now, because a lot of people who are like, oh, I have this religion and, you know, whatever. I think people are really understanding that we are called to be in community, and absolutely, when we're called to be with Christ. And how, like, what would you like, so how have you been experiencing that? Because I mean, you've got your own work, but you're at work, you know what I mean? Like, as someone who used to work for a church, it was like, there's work, working for the church, and there's actual church. So are you getting church, or how are you
so like, I'm probably one of the few people in the entire country right now who actually gets to attend mass or like sit in a adoration chapel and things like that. So I'm really taking that as a privilege, and trying to really use that as my own prayer time, even though like when we're live streaming mass, I'm working, but like it's like me and two other people and the priest. So like, I gotta participate. I gotta be there. I gotta be focused. But also, and I work at the parish where I attend. So like, I don't necessarily always have those like boundaries, although I have changed that in the past. So, you know, from my perspective, like as a minister, you have to learn to, feed your spirituality outside of your parish sometimes, because like there's not a lot of peers that you can talk to. There's not a place where you can necessarily go and say like, hey, let me pour out my whole heart to you. Like, I can do that with my staff peers, my priests, and that kind of thing. But you know, like I've tried, thankfully, because of my work being what it is, I've taken this like ways to like prepare myself spiritually apart from being in community. But that being said, like I love being in community and I miss it so much. But I also think like that we as a people, as the people of God, like no matter what denomination we are, need to continue not only to develop our own relationship with God, but also to take time to connect to others, whether it's like praying together over FaceTime or just setting aside some time for church, whether you're like watching a live stream service or something like that. Like, set aside some time and some space that's just for the sacred, whatever that is in your life, whether it's like having a cup of coffee in the morning and reading a book, or spending time with family just in prayer or whatever it is, and take like a Sabbath, because that's what attending church is for many of us. It's our time to like set aside for sacredness. It's our time to be at rest, to have Sabbath. And the thing I love about, I used to be an interfaith minister and work a lot with our Jewish kids at a school where I used to work. And like, obviously the Jews do Sabbath really well. They've been doing it for 5,000 years.
They got it down lock.
But for them, Sabbath is about gathering in community, but it's also about practicing it in your home. And there's a lot of different ways to like do that for Jews, whether it's, depending on how they might categorize themselves within their Jewish faith and how strict they may practice that. But everybody does take time to be with family, to take time off, to, not do work, whatever that would look like. And especially right now, as our work and home and prayer and everything is bleeding all into the same time, like we're all at home, we're stuck in one place. Setting those boundaries for ourselves is really, really important. Maybe it's a time where you just don't respond to text messages after a certain amount of time or whatever. But, like setting aside separate time to make sure that we're not like compartmentalizing, but just giving ourselves time to breathe and be normal as much as we can, right? Acknowledging that this is not a normal time. It's a crisis. It's a trauma for all of us. But we definitely can have those moments of peace within our lives right now as they are. And God's still with us. God's still with us.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks. That's really great. That's awesome. And it's so funny because you're right. Like I live by myself. Like, well, right now, like I usually don't. Like people who know, like I have a family. There are 11 of us in this house, but all my boys are gone and I'm by myself in this house. Like I have my work husband, but we do not see each other because we have separate apartments in the house. So it's like,
Yep.
like I'll text him and be like, "Hey, do you know where this is or that?" Or, you know, like I haven't seen him. Isn't that the strangest thing? Like, it's like I have not seen him. But it's weird because everyone is so available right now. It's a little bit more stressful. It's like, oh my gosh. So you're right. Like I need to take that time. I don't need to respond to people and, you know, be a part of that. But it's like I've put myself on a schedule now because I was like, I need a routine. I do not do well. Like I have anxiety. Like I need a schedule. Like I need to know when things are going to happen. So I was like, okay. So yeah, no, but you're right. I need that time to take that Sabbath. And so if you guys have questions for Shannon, make sure that you type them in. I really love what you said. So how is it being home? Like, I know you've got your kids. They're still alive, so that's great. I'm so excited because, you know, her youngest is my godchild. So how are your kids doing? Like,
they're doing all right. We settled in this week, I think. They were the second week of like homeschooling and all that was tough because they started to realize like it wasn't fun vacation, spring break. We have to like be here nonstop and they literally have not left the property in about 2.5 weeks now. So it's been tough for them. Like Eric and I get to go to work, but not everybody does. And but for the most part, they're doing okay and settling in. We've still got 4 weeks left to go. So before our school resumes, presumably, we'll see. So, you know, like they're kids and they need to get their energy out and they need social time just as much as we do.
Yeah.
They don't get it. So we're trying to do that as best we can and lots of FaceTime and all that. But, you know, I'm trying hard. I'm not succeeding all the time, but I'm trying hard to remember that like they don't even have the outlets that I do. And like to give them some ways to connect with other people and still be social.
Yeah. No, the last, for people who don't know, the last couple of like days, there have been calls that we've had to be on, or we've like been recording stuff for our podcast or other podcasts, things like that. And your kids will be like, I hear her, Marcia, call us the right way. And I was like, oh my gosh, the fact that Molly wants to see my face means that she misses people. Not that she doesn't love me normally. But let's be real. Her daughter, whenever I come around, tries to kick me out because she thinks her parents are going to leave. And she's like, I don't care if it's even Marcia. I will see anybody. So I was like, that poor child. And she's one who like needs people. Like she's seriously like you. She's like, I need to see all the people. Are you frozen, Shannon? Oh, Shannon's frozen. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. But I was saying like Molly's like you, how she needs to see all the people all the time. And so that poor girl. So okay, so Shannon, I have the same question for everybody. One, have you had your corona cry? And two, if you have or haven't, how are some ways that you're finding joy?
Yeah, so I definitely have a couple times. I had someone from our parish that I knew really well who passed away yesterday, and like we're not able to have a funeral and mourn him and like that. I had one at the very beginning when I was really stressed, and now I just had another one because of that, and it's good. Like I'm coping. I will grieve in time, but you know, I've had a few. It's been stressful. Like I'm not one to have a lot of anxiety. I'm a middle child, so I like roll with the punches. I can be very attention grabbing too. So like it's not normal to my personality to feel really stressed and anxious. Stress usually gives me a lot of energy. But now this is, you know, a time where it's obviously very different. But something that's bringing me joy, surprisingly, it normally brings me a lot of stress, is Twitter. I usually am so annoyed with Twitter. I don't like the beefs and the rage and like the negativity.
Right.
But like it's been so funny lately and uplifting and I've just needed like that shorter cycle of the news feed that's like, you know, I think they say on Twitter it's every like 24 minutes. A tweet is basically irrelevant. You know, like normally for me that's not something that I like because I want to see like what's going on in people's lives, and like, you know, so I'm on a Facebook or an Instagram where I can go back and see stuff from a day or two ago or whatever. But because there's so little to do at home, like that instant refresh of the Twitter feed is just so satisfying, and there's so many good jokes. So ironically, you know, Twitter is the opposite for me.
No, I was just telling someone, it was like, these coronavirus memes are the most hilarious things in the world. I read 2 today. Oh my gosh, I can't. The funny one I cannot repeat on air, but I'll put it in my Instagram stories. I'll put it in my Instagram stories.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them was, this homeschool thing is whack. I just told my son he needs to focus on his rap career. Right? I was like, oh my God, that is seriously like, when you get to that point.
Yep. I feel that though. I feel that energy.
You feel that? He just needs to focus. No, but yeah, like everyone is so funny. Like, so are you binging anything? I know you're not watching Tiger King.
Things. Yeah, no, not yet. I haven't yet been initiated into that club. We are like diving into our list, our Netflix queue or list, like all the things we're like, we'll watch that sometime, and then you're like, no, I don't have 3 hours to watch The Irishman. Well, I have 3 hours to watch it.
Now you do.
Like that's kind of where I am with that. I'm very happy that there's like new episodes of Outlander coming every week, because it gives me something to like mark time.
Yeah.
And because, you know, like normally I'm like, okay, it's Sunday, like it's mass, and well, I'm still going to mass like otherwise. So that's something. And I'm also, I stopped watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel when it came out. I watched like a couple episodes, and then like life caught up with me. So I'm like so excited to get back on that. It's such a joy to like have Midge back in my life and catch up on season 3. So
yeah, no, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Shannon, where can we find you?
Yeah, so if you want to get in contact with me, you can either follow me on Instagram at Team Quarter Black, and that's a really deep dive of Marcia and I. If you ever watch the show Psych, that's where it comes from. There's a reference to a singing group called Quarter Black. I recommend watching it, that episode of Psych. And then you can also reach out to me if you're interested in contacting me for, I do speaking, I do consulting, diversity education, that kind of thing. You can reach me at Shannon W. Schmidt, that's SCHMID as in dog, T as in Tom, at gmail.com. I also want to put in a little plug, obviously, for our podcast. Listen to it, Plaid Skirts and Basic Dog.
Right. I was like, yes, our podcast.
Where we talk about all things Black Catholic, and in anything in between. Pop culture. And
Harry and Meghan, who we love.
Harry and Meghan.
Now we need to figure out how to find them. Maybe the
We'll
Tig will
figure it out.
come back. I think the Tig will come back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then
they know where to find us, at least.
I also want to put in a little plug for my brother. My brother Patrick Wimp is a filmmaker and professor in the Chicago area, and he just had a short web series that he was sold to the Ficto app, Ficto, which you can get right now exclusively on iPhone or iOS, so your iPhone, your iPad, and it's all free content for us, the consumer. We can just watch it, and then it gives money basically every time you get a view. It gives money to the creators. So it's a great way to support smaller studios and creatives who are not obviously filming anything right now.
Yeah.
And his show is called Brothers from the Suburbs. It's about 3 Black kids growing up in the suburbs and what that's like going to a majority white high school and living in that world. So it's really funny. I enjoyed it. It is not safe for work, so if you have children around, don't watch it, but it is hilarious. So that's the Ficto app, Ficto, and the show is Brothers from
That
the
makes sense. Your dad, so I am planning a basketball camp with your dad that may or may not happen. No, like, I don't play basketball, but I do the music. For everyone out there, I'm like, that's not a thing. He texted it to like our whole group of like, he's like, because we're planning this meeting for tomorrow. And then he's like, oh, also check out my son Patrick's thing. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't know what Badot sent me, but I get all the responses because everyone replies all these text messages. So I'm gonna have to check that out. I should have him on the show.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
To have him talk about it. Yes, it's so funny. I've only met Patrick twice in my whole entire life. And I was like, but I talked to your sister this morning. Like, I talked to everyone else in your family but him. But it's cool. Anyway, Shannon, thank you so much for coming. We're going to check out that Ficto app. I might have to talk to him and be like, hey, Patrick, come on the show. And so, yes, follow Shannon at Team Quarter Black. Thank you so much, Shannon. You have a great rest of the day. I'm sure I will talk to you 5 more times today.
Yep.
And I owe your kids a FaceTime, so that's going to happen.
Probably true.
Bye.
Everybody.
So thanks, guys, so much for listening. Thanks for being here. I just want to say thank you to Shannon once again. I really appreciate you guys spending this time with me in the middle of your day, whether or whatever time that you have. Please remember to follow Shannon at Team Quarter Black to check out the Ficto app if you have an iOS device. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh my gosh. And I completely forgot. Like, I talked about Outlander bringing me joy. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but I talked about it in my stories. I had 2 friends get married yesterday and everyone was on Facebook watching it. And it was kind of amazing and lovely. Rebecca was there. I don't know if she's still here, but Rebecca was there. It was beautiful and wonderful. And it just did my heart glad. I hope that you guys are able to find joy in the rest of your day. I hope that you add a little silent step substance to your coronavirus living. Order more fried chicken, Mel. Read more books, Raquel. That rhymed. And let me know what else you guys are doing, or if there's anyone that you want to hear from on the talk show. Bye. Oh, really, before I forget, this is not going to be on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get the replay. Okay, that's it. Bye.